Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the channel, A Life After Narc. My name's Debbie, and I talk about all things to do with narcissistic, abusive, and toxic relationships, as well as looking at healing from them. And today's video, why do you still love the narcissist? Have you ever heard of the term limerence? I'm going to get into that in the video, but that's one of the reasons why you still feel that you love the narcissist. It's also a fake emotion, a false emotion, but it's part of the trauma bond. Before I get into the detail, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends and family. I really need to increase the subscribership to the channel, so if you can get your friends to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. This message needs to go out there to people in the world who have gone through such abusive, toxic, narcissistic relationships. And the only way to do that is by sharing. So limerence, have you ever heard of it? And what do you know of it? Well, the dictionary term meaning for limerence is it's a state of infatuation or obsession with another person that involves an all-consuming passion and intrusive thoughts. Now, if you think about that time when your relationship ended, perhaps you didn't want it to end. Even if you left, you had this trauma bond that built up. And part of that was to do with the abuse that they gave you. So it comes back to the love bombing phase and the devaluation phase. And this trauma bond builds up over that because of the actions that the narcissist does. So they love bomb you, then they devalue you, love bomb you, devalue you. I have talked about it in other videos. I'm going to pop a link to a trauma bond video that I did the other day that you can have a look at and see and find out exactly what happens there. But when we remember what happens, when we are ruminating about our ex and thinking, why did this happen? I want them back in my life. I love them. I still want to be with them. None of this is true. None of this is real. We look back with this limerence. It becomes almost an obsession for us. Now, the way I love the word limerence, I think it's a beautiful word. And I see it as being this shiny golden glow, sparkly, silver, shiny, blue, purple, glittery look around the memories. So you'll remember the first kiss, the first date you had, when they proposed to you or you proposed to them, the wedding day, perhaps the day a child was born. And you will remember all of these romantic moments with limerence because you can't see the wrong that happened and you forget about the trauma that you went through because your body is addicted to the trauma bond. Now, how this works is we all have a hormone within our body called oxytocin, which is the love hormone. And this hormone is released during loving emotional moments. It is released in great amounts when a woman gives birth to a child and the two bond. The oxytocin between both is incredibly strong, and this is how the mother and the child bond. You can also get this feeling by having a pet, perhaps on your lap, or a child, or another partner. And this oxytocin is released during lovemaking. It's released in those happy moments. Now, through the trauma bond, you have become addicted to this release of oxytocin. So now you've split up. The narc is no longer in your life, but you're ruminating about them because your body wants that oxytocin rush back. It's like a drug. It's a hormone, but it's like a drug. You become addicted to it. You become addicted to the feelings that it gives you. And so when you are ruminating, it's so difficult to stop remembering the good times that you had. Your mind will automatically think of those good times. And this is where I feel that that glittering sort of image goes around these things that we experienced with the narcissist, and we put it on a pedestal. And we say we want this back, but this is what the narcissist was like at the beginning. Yes, but they became abusive. They became toxic. And your rumination, it's one of the most difficult things to stop when you are in those first few months after that relationship has ended. And I always tell people, and you'll see in a lot of my videos, that once that relationship has ended, write a list of all of the bad things that the narcissist did to you. And when you have these feelings of limerence, when you feel that you still love the narcissist, read that list, because that is the truth of the relationship, not what you had right at the beginning. That was future faking. That was all false. It was never real. The narcissist was using you for the supply that you had at the time. To me, when I think of the word limerence, and when we look at what happened in our relationships at the beginning, everything was shiny, everything was rosy, the rose-tinted glasses. But it wasn't. It really wasn't, because the narcissist was slowly working their way on you to gain all the supply they could from you, to use you, to beat you down, to make you subservient to them, to make you do what they wanted you to do until they didn't want you anymore and they threw you away. So as I said, during those beautiful moments, your brain is awash with this oxytocin, and because you have become addicted to it over time, your body is expecting that to come out again. So instead of the oxytocin, you are now crying, you are now sad, and you still feel that you love the narcissist. But like I said, take that list, read that list, and remember all of the horrible things they did to you. The verbal abuse, the gaslighting, the physical or sexual abuse, the winding you up, the arguments that you had, the way the relationship ended. And most narcissistic relationships will end in a very vicious way, very verbal, very aggressive, very abusive, very nasty way. You may not be the nasty one, but they will be to you. They will start to devalue you and discard you, and it will be absolutely horrendous. So remembering those good times makes you question yourself, doesn't it? It makes you think, well, hang on, we had this right at the beginning. Why can't we have that again? Unfortunately, it was fake. They didn't love you. Even though you think, but surely they must have loved me at some stage. They married me. No. They loved the supply that you gave them. Whatever supply that was, they loved that. Because you're more than likely an empath, you probably have a big heart for many people and many things around you. And love may well be an emotion that you feel connected to the most. That you do good for other people, you look after other people, you're empathic. And there's probably a part of you that does still love them. But it wasn't love. It was a trauma bond. It was abuse that held you together. It was pretend. It was fake. It wasn't real. So that love that you're feeling, or you think you're feeling for your ex, bring that love back to yourself. Start loving yourself again, because you deserve it. You deserve to have that love in your life. Bring that oxytocin back to yourself. Because your brain still thinks that you love the narc. It's now time to love you. Remind yourself every day of who the narcissist really was. Take that list out, read that list of horrible things that they did, and just realize that you were so much better off without them. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.